Hi, this is Brandon from Tay Talk Tech, back here again with another video. Today we're going to be continuing our QEMU KVM series. We're going to be covering VM storage management. There's two important terms that are associated with VM storage management. The first one is going to be pool, the second one is going to be volume. Pool is a large pool of storage used to create volumes of storage for individual VMs, and volumes are individual volumes of storage attached to VMs. Now, by default, KVM stores disk images for VMs in var, lib, libvirt image directory, which is this one we've got right here, var/lib/libvirt/images. Now, if we issue an ls here, we can see the actual disk images for the VMs here. Now, this right here, this directory right here, this one is going to be the pool. And then this one right here, the peppermint.qcow, peppermint test.qcow, and test-1 .qcow, those are going to be the actual volumes. So that just kind of illustrates you how it does things by default. And every time that you add a pool and volumes, it's going to be the same thing. You're just going to be selecting, different location, different partition, whatever the case is going to be. So there's a few different commands to be able to get information about pools and volumes. The first one is going to be versh pool, and it's going to be list. What this is going to do is it's going to actually list all of our pools that are active. And again, just like with the versh list command, you have the tac all option, which will list all storage pools that are on the system and not just the ones that are active. So if we were to do that and then add a tac all, if there had been another one that was inactive, then we would see that one now. Now, if you want to get information about an individual pool, is you can do versh pool, and then you're going to do tac info, and then we're going to put the pool name. So in this case, we're going to do images. All right, here we go. Now, one of the things that I will tell you is you will see this information here about capacity, allocation, and available. Now, this amount right here is the total amount of space that's available on the disk that this pool is stored on. And the allocation is the total amount of space that is allocated on that disk, and the capacity is the total absolute amount that is on that disk. So it's not going to show you just based on that particular pool. So if you have, say, you have different pools on the same disk, it's going to give you the same information. So let's go to ISO. And oops, actually that one is on a different partition. I do apologize about that. I don't know if we have, I don't think I have, I don't remember if I have any. Oh, yep, we do have another one here. Let's do this and let's do external. And there we go. We can see with external, everything here is the same. This one right here is on a different disk. So that's why you're actually not seeing it here in the with the same information. So that just shows you right there that we have two separate disks, different pools on different disks. So they're not all required to be on the same disk or anything like that. So now, if you want to, when we talk about getting information about volumes, is the first thing that we can do is versh volume list, and then we can do tac pool, and then we're going to do images. All right, now it's going to be putting all of these other ones in there, but really the ones that are the actual volumes are these two right here and this one right here. These are showing up within that same pool, so that's why it's considering these other ones as volumes. But these are really the volumes that we're referring to when we're talking about volumes. All right, now if you want to know specific information about a volume, what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to do the versh vol info tac pool images, and then we'll do the volume name. In this case, we'll just do peppermint, and there we go. And we can see here that it's got a total capacity of 15 gigabytes, and it's got an allocation of only 5.39 gigabytes. All right, so very similar to kind of like using QEMU info command. That'll give you some information similar to this. If we were to go ahead and do the same thing here, we would just take this right here and just go doop. Let's paste that in there. And it gives us similar information here. So cool. All right, that is actually getting information about them. Now, one of the things that I wanted to kind of just show and get out of the way from the get-go, this is not something that we're going to be covering in detail in this video or in this series, but you can always edit a pool by using its updating its XML file. So that would be, you would just do versh pool edit, and then we would do images. And then there we go. We can see there it's got, it's got the capacity allocation available, path, and all that stuff. So you could always update information about this pool through this means. So, but again, we're not going to be covering that in this video. So let's go ahead and get out of here. All right, now let's go ahead and start talking about creating an actual storage pool. So the command to do that is going to be versh pool tac define tac as, and then we're going to create the pool name. So we'll just do images tac2, and then we're going to do a type dir, and then we're going to do tac target, which in this case will be var libvirt, and then we're going to do images 2. Oops, forgot the E here on define. Let me go back up there and fix that. All right, now the next command that we're going to do is we're going to do versh pool build, and then the pool name. Now the first one, with the first command versh, the versh pool define as, that's just going to create the actual pool. Now when you create the pool, it doesn't actually create the directory that's going to be associated with that target. So we have to go ahead and set the location of where we want that target at, which is going to be the location that we specified here. Now, in order to go ahead and have that directory built and associated with this pool, is we're going to use the versh pool build, and then the actual pool name. Now, a couple things that I want to point out about the pool define as command. Now, it creates a storage pool along with its accompanying XML file, and that XML file is going to be stored in etc libvirt storage directory by default. So we can just do an ls, and we'll just do, and there you go. Let's actually go back up here. I meant to put in the actual storage location. My apologies. Let's go ahead and paste that in there. And we can see here, these are the XML files for the individual pools that we already have on the system. Now, most common type of pool is going to be a directory. Now, there is a long list of the different types of pools you can create. There's directory, there's file system, there's network, there's iSCSI, and a bunch of other ones. Now, what I'll do is I'll go ahead and put a link down below to the different types of pools that you can create if you want to get any more information about it. It's really hard to kind of discern the different types when you're using the man page. You can also use logical volume management, logical volumes, to go ahead and actually back your pool types. And yeah, that just shows you that there's just tons of different ways that you can configure your pools. Now, keep in mind, the type of pool that you're going to want is going to be based solely on the needs that you have for your pool. So that's something that you'll want to make sure that you consider prior to actually starting and creating pools for your virtual machine volumes. Now, the next command that we'll want to go ahead and do is, before we get into that other command, let's just do a versh pool, and then we're going to do list. We can see here it's not there. So what do we need to do? We need to put a tac all, and now we can see it. So the next command we're going to do is versh pool start, and then we're going to do images 2. All right, that starts it. Now, if you want to go ahead and auto start it, what you'll do is you'll just come over here and you'll just do auto start, and it is now marked as auto start. Now, if we just go back and do the List all. We can see that now, as opposed to being inactive and no auto start, it is now active and it is a yes to auto start. So perfect, pretty easy, right? Now, if you want to go ahead and delete a pool, what you'll do is you'll go and do a versh pool destroy, and then you'll do the name images to, right, oops. All right, and what that's going to do is it's actually going to shut down that pool. All right, see now the state is inactive, and now what we'll do is we'll do a versh pool delete, and then we'll do images. I'm sorry, not delete, undefine, and then images 2. All right, perfect. Now if we run the command again, we can see that it has gone away. Now let's go ahead and jump into creating volumes. So these are pretty easy. To create a volume, we're going to do versh volume. Whoops. And then we're going to go ahead and designate the pool that that's going to be a part of, and we're going to just do it as the images pool. And then we'll go ahead and do the new volume name, which we're just going to call test. And then we're going to go ahead and set up the space for it, and we're going to do just, let's just do 100, and we'll do M. And here, when you're setting the spaces, you can do an M for megabytes or G for gigabytes. I'm just doing megabytes here just because I don't want to take up a ton of space. And then what we'll do is we'll go ahead and hit enter. All right, we can see that that volume has been created, and we can see it right there. Test. Now, one of the things I want to tell you is when these volumes are created by default, they will be in a raw format. So just keep that in mind. If you want to go ahead and set it for a specific type of format, is what you'll do is you'll come in here and you'll just do a tac format, and then we'll just do QCOW2. All right, perfect. We got that one there. Now, if you want to get again get information about the volume, is you can go ahead and do versh volume info tac pool images, and then we're gonna go ahead and do test. All right, perfect. And there we go. We can see capacity and allocation is there. Same thing with test 2. All right, perfect. Now you notice that it doesn't tell you what type of volume it is. For that, you're going to use QEMU image img info, and then you would just go ahead and put in the path to that actual volume, and then it'll give you it'll tell you it's raw, QCOW. If you were using some other type of format, it'll tell you there as well. So, all right, now the last command that we want to go ahead and go over is deleting a volume, which is pretty similar. Versh vol delete. And then we're going to do tac. Oh, actually, nope. We're going to do test 2. And then we'll do tac pool, no images. And it's deleted there. And let's just go ahead and here and delete test by itself. And boom, if we just do that. And now we can see that those are all gone. So perfect. Yeah, that is pretty much storage in a nutshell. I know when I first saw it, I was like, man, this is going to be intimidating, but it's really not too bad. Conceptually, it is probably the hardest part, and then the commands are very similar. And if you've noticed the trend with the commands when it comes to versh is they're all very, very similar. You usually are, you'll have your base commands, like just list, info, and all that kind of stuff. But then like each time that you're going to like a different thing is you'll be like, oh, instead of like for doing volumes, you'll just do volume tac and then whatever you're going to be doing with that volume. And then same thing with pools, you'll be doing pool tac, whatever you're going to be doing with that volume. I'm sorry, with that pool, and so on and so on. So it's really it's really great. Like once you kind of start getting the hang of everything, it's so much easier. And keep in mind, you're never expected to be an expert. And that's why I put these videos out here. If you need to come back to the video, hey, watch it again, watch it 10 times for all I care. Whatever's going to help you be successful when it comes to learning this stuff. is what you need to do. All right, so perfect. That's all I've got for you today. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up. Let me know what I'm doing right. Or if there's anything else that you want to see, give it a thumbs down. If you didn't like it, let me know what you didn't like about it. Subscribe for more Linux content, including more on QEMU, KVM, as well as other Linux type videos. If there is, that's the end of the video. I hope you have a great rest of the day. And again, thanks for watching my video.